Hello, everybody. This is Facing Phantoms, and you're listening to the Whispers Within podcast, the show that discusses all things 863 for people who love Project 863 and the community. As I said in the beginning, I am Facing Phantoms, and you are listening to the Whispers Within podcast, episode 6, The Shadows Will Come. So in this video, we are going to be reacting to the video that was released today on the Matthias channel of Unsolved. They have no idea how she was murdered. We will be reviewing this video, going over some theories afterwards. Before we get into reviewing and everything, I do want to make a couple quick announcements. If you haven't looked in the description yet, you should probably go look, because you will see, and also, before we get into anything else, if you hear a bunch of commotion in the background, it's because it's raining and it's really windy outside. So, the Discord is in the description. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Very sorry if you can. That is like very fierce wind. But the Discord is in the description. Go ahead and come on in. If you have any questions, fill out a ticket, get your roles, read the rules first, actually, and come have fun. A video tomorrow will be released going over the Discord and all the channels and everything, just so you guys won't have as many questions as you may have in the future. And you can just go back to that video if you get confused at all. Another announcement is, how do you guys like the new overlays? This is the first day I am using them. I like them. It takes a little more time to fully edit it and like edit the whole timer on, but how do you guys like the timer? Is it too long? Is it too short? Uh-oh. Did you guys hear that? That is static coming from my microphone. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, if you guys randomly hear that, I'm still trying to get that fixed. I have contacted the company. I've contacted Microsoft, and they said it is probably something within my computer. So, basically, they updated a driver for me. There it is. They updated a driver for me, and it seemed to fix for a little bit, but it appears that it's back. Let me unplug real quick. Okay. Hopefully that fixed it. Unplugging it sometimes does fix it. Unplugging it sometimes doesn't. I think I may need to get back in contact with the actual company that made the microphone, which I have sent like audio recordings to as they've requested. I don't know if they've gotten back to me yet. They should be getting back to me soon though. But yeah, how do you guys like the new overlays? First day using them, I like them. I like them a lot. I like how I used the black tags and everything. And if you guys would like to know how I used the black tags, I won't tell you. I'm not telling you. No, I'm joking. I'll leave in the description how I did it, because a lot of people will be curious about it. It's an embossing label generator. That's how I did it. I'm not sure if that's how Project 863 officially does it, but that's how I used it, and it does look pretty like the same, so it works. So let's get into this video, which was a pretty crazy video if you've watched it. So we start off. Where is Matt? Everybody, I'm probably sure, was asking that. Where the heck is Matt at? Well, apparently Matt is in his new office layout place. So seems like he rearranged his office. I'm really liking the aesthetic that he went for. I like how he did like the wooden table. It all looks like old-timey too, with the lamp and everything. So I thought it looked pretty nice and themed as Project 863 and like Deb hideout in a sense. And I'm really liking where the new board is that oh, I said it last podcast. Oh my gosh, it starts with a C, I think. No. I don't know if I think of it later. But that new board that we're putting all our evidence on to solve this gigantic murder of Deborah. I like where it's at. It lets us see it at the same time. And Matthias, as he is reviewing YouTube comments, which is our next thing. We basically go and review the YouTube comments. We find some good theories there. Like, really good theories, actually. There was one of them about, trauma, which I think actually is happening. Because what if that trauma that Scott is having is, like, seeing Chloe in that position? Maybe Chloe was, like, his sister or his daughter, maybe? I'm not too sure. But what if the trauma he's having is, like, maybe he was tested on himself? Or maybe he tested on himself under the control of Nelson. Or maybe just seeing them destroy, in his words, Chloe, like, gave him a lot of trauma, and he's just reliving those memories every single day. So, after the YouTube comments, which I'm actually, one thing I do really want to mention is the new drawn animations that cut in are back. I really missed those. Those animations were actually, like, pretty cool. I think it tells the story in, like, a different way than just the video. It tells the story with, like, art and, like, the graphics within it. I think they just give another little addition to the story that we needed. But after we do all that, he mentions there is an online board, which is in the description of the Project 863 video, if you do not know. There is an online, one of the online boards, I still can't remember the name, that we can go and look at closely and, like he said, download images if we want a higher resolution on them and look closer at them. And basically just help solve this murder. That's what this whole season is about. So after all that, he gets into the car and he starts, he gets into the car and he starts heading to the studio. And Matt brings up an extremely valid point within all of this. We, as Subject 4, shouldn't just say go. We are not the ones going with him, or with them, the crew. We are not the ones putting ourselves in danger. If you were there, would you just be like, go, go, go? I mean, let me know if you would. But I feel like we would take a lot more precautions if it was actually our lives. Like, they are people too. We shouldn't just say go. Like, their lives are at stake. Like, we do have to think about how the team are actually people. They're not just players and all, or pawns in this whole thing. They have lives and family that, like, we need to look out for them too, and we need to take into effect all of the theories that we may have if they're heading somewhere, or, like, all the precautions that they need to take. We need to let them know that before we just say go, because it could be dangerous, and Matthias has a wife and 2 kids. I mean, think about that. Sam has her boyfriend, Woods has his girlfriend now, and Bailey, I think, has a boyfriend. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, they and parents too, and grandmothers and cousins and all that. They have families that would hate to see them pass on. Like, we need to take into account that their lives are at stake every time they do this for our what's that word? Every time they do this for our, I don't want to say entertainment, but it sort of is, like, for our curiosity. There we go. So we need to, like, take a step back and look at the actual precautions with everything and stuff like that. So it is a very valid point, Matt, and you have all of the authority to bring that up and say that, because it is your life that you're there putting at stake. So, we discussed that, basically, the whole ride, and we get to the studio. And one thing I do want to mention, why is it always gloomy, or like the sky looks like it's on fire? Whenever they're doing, like, Matthias put it as gloomy things, but, like, whenever they're filming, like, a big event in 863 or something like that, why is it always gloomy and, like, dark, and like it just adds a weird vibe to everything that I really don't like, and I don't think it needs to be gloomy. It doesn't. But I don't know if California is usually gloomy. I don't think it is. Let's look it up. Is California usually gloomy? I'm planning on getting a new keyboard soon. May gray. Oh. Cloudy mornings in late spring and early summer. So right around this time, known as June gloom. So yeah, it is usually gloomy, but like it's like sometimes it's not, and those sometimes aren't like big events that we're doing Project 863 that we're doing within Project 863, but it's always gloomy when we are doing those big events, and it just adds a weird vibe to it that like something bad is going to happen, or we're doing something that could cause harm to the team in some way. We get to the studio, Sam gets there, and basically we set everything up at Megadesk and gather Sam and Bailey, and we review, or not review, we check the Discord. The official Project 863 Discord, which is now free, if you did not know. So we get on there, and basically they're getting on there to see Subject 4's opinion on basically going to see Deb's apartment. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should have, or do you guys think we shouldn't have? Because I'm in all favor of us going to her apartment, but I feel like we did need to take those precautions that they took, that we'll get into later. So we checked the Discord, and after we asked, everybody was like how Matt said in the car, go, 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 go. And basically, Sam thought the same exact thing. Subject 4 really needs to realize they are real people, and they have lives and family, and they're putting their lives at stake for our curiosity. Their curiosity too, of course. But yeah, it was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen the Discord immediately just go like go, go, go like they did this time, but we definitely need to start taking more precautions, because it's starting to seem like we honestly don't care about the team. I don't really want to say that, but it's starting to seem more of Subject 4 just wants to see the action and doesn't really care if the team gets hurt or not, in a way. I mean, let me know what your guys' opinions are on that point that Matt brought up and Sam brought up, because that's my opinion on it. So we're checking the Discord and reviewing the whole thing, and people are actually bringing up a valid point. What if it's a trap? I mean, what if Nelson ordered Scott to just act like he was doing something stupid, or act like he was dumb, and then basically give them a key into a trap? I mean, that would be a pretty easy way to trap them, because they've been so curious about Deb. Of course they're gonna go. I mean, even if we said no, I'm pretty sure they would have gone and been like, oh, we have to go though, and stuff like that. So after we get done with the Discord, we basically decide that we should go, but this time people actually started talking about precautions and stuff after Matt brought it up. But gas masks and bats and gloves and stuff like that. So after we're done reviewing the Discord, we do head elsewhere. We basically get back into a little vloggy style, and we start planning out, basically. But special guest star, not on the podcast, but in the video, Izzy is back. But the weird thing is, why is Izzy making holes? I do have a theory about this. I think Nelson took over Izzy. No, I'm joking. I mean, possibility. Izzy could be infected, but what if Nelson took... Okay, why am I going so deep into this now? But here's the weird thing. What if the bomb in Santa Clarita went off? Right? It did go off. Because then everybody was in passive mode, as people believe is basically not under the control of Nelson. But then what if certain residents in Santa Clarita headed out of town while the antidote dispersed. Are they still infected? Are they back in town infected with the serum? I mean, is everybody cured? I don't think everybody is cured, to be completely honest. Because how would the Spire doesn't activate the whole world. It only activates, I'm pretty sure only Santa Clarita in the Valley. So, I don't know, but Izzy's back. And he's doing weird things like making holes when he's supposed to be repairing them. Like always. If you haven't watched 863, you won't know the joke that has been happening. But I don't know why you're watching this podcast if you haven't watched 863. It doesn't make any logical sense. But, okay, so after Izzy, basically it's time to gather stuff. So, basically time to gather gloves. Matthias does bring up a good point, like a flash for his camera, but he ends up just grabbing a whole different camera, because we do want, evidence pictures and stuff that'll go in the database. So the flash, bats, gas masks, especially because we don't want another Syntech Location 3 again. Oh my gosh, that was terrifying. And basically everything that we usually need to head out. So after we're done prepping and gathering stuff, Matt gets obsessed with Tanner's beard, and then we head out. And while we're heading out, they do mention a good point. She isn't far at all, they say. Now, and that's honestly really weird to think about, because Matt did bring up a good point. He wouldn't have been surprised if she was in the next store over. I mean, that wouldn't have been surprising. Deborah was so secretive, she wouldn't have at all given up her spot at all. So, she's not that far, which is sort of surprising and hard to think about to me, because, we've been talking to this computer lady that hasn't been far at all from us being able to just go out and meet her, but she was in an apartment that's near a bunch of other apartments, so it probably would have been pretty hard to actually track her down. So we're heading out, and they start prepping themselves mentally, which honestly I would have too, because what were you guys expecting to see there? Were you guys expecting to see a deceased body of Deborah? Which, another thing, we didn't find out her last name. In her own apartment, she didn't have her last name advertised anywhere. What is her last name? That seems as if it's becoming a very important key in all of this. Is that gonna, make us untrust her? Deborah Cyphus, or, something like that? I mean, I have no idea, but we need to find out her last name, honestly, because it might help us, to be completely honest. I mean, what if it was Chloe's last name? Static's back. What if it was Chloe's last name? I don't know how that would work and what would have happened, but, what if it's some other major player's last name, like Nelson, or Scott's, or Gary? Deborah Reynolds? I mean, brother and sister rivalry if Gary killed her? I don't know. But they start prepping themselves mentally, and then they bring up the Overkill Mobile, which I'm pretty sure Matt said he's going to name it the Mega Machine, which I am loving the idea for this. I feel like it would definitely make the Mountaineer feel more, I don't want to say cozy, because it's really weird, because there already is a Mountaineer that somebody was killed in, but I feel like it would make the Mountaineer a little more, a little more comfortable to be in, because you're in something that, you've worked with, in a sense. You're in something that, you painted, and, I don't know. I feel like it would make them feel more comfortable getting into the vehicle. But I don't know how exactly it would make them more comfortable, as in the other vehicle, somebody was murdered. Sorry if that hurt your ears, but somebody was murdered in basically the same other vehicle. So I have No idea, but we arrive. It seems like her apartments are mixed up with a bunch of apartments. Like, Sam realizes that even if we did go out looking for her, we probably wouldn't have been able to find her because there is a lot of apartments around her. So we get there and we get to her door, and it's blatantly obvious which door is hers. Most likely the one with the caution tape all over it, the one that looks like a murder scene or like a crime scene. So we realize that that is, of course, her apartment, and the key does turn. The key does let us in, and Matt. Oh my gosh, I hate static, honestly. I need to get that fixed. But okay. Matt heading in with a counter and a mask first, I think that was a really smart, and it was a good idea to take precautions, as they were talking about earlier. And apparently, which is something really weird, I'll get into that later. But he comes out looking like he just saw a dead body, which, like, what did he see? So we head on in, and we don't see a dead body, but we do see this weird body outline on the walls. But what is this place? Honestly, this is not what I imagined at all. I mean, let me know if it's what you guys imagined. But I imagined sort of like a whole, not like an HQ, but like something a lot more high tech for Deb. Old but high tech, in a way. I'm not sure. But there's like a bunch of papers on the walls, tacked to the walls with lines like we are creating now, and like Matthias is creating we. And it looks like there is a body outline on the wall, like I just mentioned. Like, how was that, like, how was it made, and what is that substance? Because it seems like it is on everything. So, like, let me know what you guys think happened here. I have no idea, honestly. But it looks like we start looking at the wall more, and it looks like the documents are from us, which is, I don't know. Like, do you think that there were multiple, like, she printed one for her and then she printed one to hide for us? Or do you think, like, she screenshotted it off of our database? Because if she did that, then that would mean she has to have an account on Project 863 Plus. Am I wrong? I don't know. Or maybe she hacked her database. I'm fairly certain Deb has a way of doing that. So, I mean, if she does have an account on 863 Plus, that'll be like really weird. But what do you guys think about that? So, a lot of people I feel like are gonna start thinking that she was using us too. Like, just using us to find this evidence and stuff. But I don't think she was using us. We play a gigantic part in all of this in some way, shape, or form. Like, we get into the letters later, and you can see how big of a part some of the characters play. And I don't think she's using us. I feel like we were chosen for like this timeline to completely work out. We were chosen for the timeline that will succeed and stop Nelson Cyphus from torturing and doing people any harm any longer. So, another thing I thought was really cool about this in her little office was the green glow. I think the green glow under the desk was cool, and her place is like really, her place looks like really vintage, and like it has a nice aesthetic with it. I don't know. It does look pretty cool though. But one thing, the reason I named this episode "The Shadows Will Come?" question mark is because there are literally shadows on everything. Like, sort of like a blast radius. But I don't know if you guys recall, but I might be able to go look at it. I don't know. Give me a second. I don't know if you guys recall, but when we were going through the, what was it? The police car? The paperwork inside the police car? She said, this is what she said. They are still mostly unaware of Syntax Dark history, but I have faith they will uncover it bit by bit at the correct time. You know the shadows will come for them. This is what it immediately made me think of. I don't know about you all, but it says, you know the shadows will come for them, but I cannot protect them, for that alone will prevent them from ending all of this once and for all. I hope to speak to you again soon, old friend. D. So, that's what it immediately made me think of. I don't know about you guys. What did you guys think of when you saw that? I'm not sure. I have no idea what that substance could be. I don't know what could cause her to murder her and that substance be there, unless they went through and like outlined everything to throw us off or something like that. But I think it was like a blast radius of something. And then we look over and what do we see? Serum. But wait. Matthias didn't get any read on the Geiger counter. How? How didn't he get any read at all on the little counter if there was serum right there? Like, is that a different type of serum? I know one serum had like, it was like V. I'll go look. Where is that timestamp? Right here. It was V version dot 462-110. And oh, sorry, there's static. I'm so sorry, guys. I actually need to get this figured out. 1 second. I have no idea what's happening with this static. I hope I get it fixed soon, though, because I do not want to have a podcast with a staticky mic. That would not be a nice podcast. So hopefully I'll have it fixed by one of the next upcoming videos. But yeah, V.462-110. And why is it a solid? Was this a different version of the serum completely? Like, was this edible serum? I'm not too sure. But then we look back at the board, and what do we see that's pertaining to us right now within this whole story? You all probably guessed it. I was very disappointed when I saw this. I don't know why, but it just gave me extreme chills. History repeats, unfortunately. Which, what? Like, what? Honestly, I'm like actually, oh, give me a second. Something's happening with this. Okay, I think I got it. Good. So, like, was there like an edible serum or something? Oh, we already went through that. Sorry. But yeah, what they're really microphone? You really want to do this? Okay, so yeah, history repeats itself, unfortunately. Oh my gosh, my room is so hot. So did Deb just freeze? Like, how did she freeze? And how? Wow, my room is like extremely hot. Like, did Deb just freeze with, like, what did they freeze her with? And, like, how? Because that would explain why maybe, like, that version is a solid. Like, maybe it was frozen in place. What immediately came to my mind, though, was frozen in time. Like, what? Like, did everything just get, like, frozen in time and, like, implanted on that wall? Like, honestly, I'm not too sure. This is actually pretty crazy, but, so, like, what do you guys think happened to Deb? Completely and totally. Like, I just want to see in your comment, who do you think murdered her? Why do you think they murdered her? What was their goal of murdering her? What do you think they were trying to accomplish? And with what? And how did they murder her? That's what I want to, just what I want answered from you guys, literally. Another thing that really threw me off was Woods just sat on her bed. Like, he was just, like, whenever you go over to a friend's house, that's, like, just what you do, you just sit on their bed. Like, she was just sitting there at a friend's house. It was really weird, because, I mean, crime scene, how do you know if she was murdered in her bed? How do you know that little body outline is where she was murdered? I don't know. But, we end up looking down, and we see this weird area that doesn't have an object over it, but it has a, like, shadow type thing. What do you guys think was sitting there? Especially, like, on the bookshelf, there was that square thing cut into her body outline. What do you guys think those two things were? Like, I'm thinking, like, the square thing might have been, like, an apple II, maybe? Or, like, and then that thing that was sitting there was, like, maybe, like, a knife of some sort, or, like, an object, like a weapon that could, decease her? So, I don't know. What do you guys think the missing objects were? They were small and big, so, honestly, I don't know anything. I don't know. I think apple II and a murder weapon. But what do you guys think? So, and then they bring up a good point. What's brought up a good point? Like, what if you were an officer walking into this? What would you guys do if you were an officer walking into this? Sam said she would just leave. Wood said he wouldn't be able to leave. I mean, I don't think I would be able to leave either, in my complete opinion. I think I would be too invested in it, and I would probably sit down and look at everything one at a time and just try to figure out what in the heck happened there, if I'm being completely honest. But what would you guys do if you were an officer walking into that? It would be quite chaotic and weird, and stuff would be cluttered, but I don't know. What would you guys do? We start reading through some files, and we see basically two words we do not want to see within this project. MK Ultra. Let's leave. Literally, they were literally just like, nope, we're done. MK Ultra, I have an idea of what it is. I know what it is, but here, I'll just explain it to you guys off of Google, because they can probably explain it more. So, Project 8 MK Ultra. This is from Wikipedia, which I usually don't trust. Oh, history.com. History. Okay. MK Ultra was a top secret CIA project in which the agency conducted hundreds of clandestine experiments, sometimes on unwitting U.S. citizens, to assess the potential use of LSD and other drugs for mind control, information gathering, and psychological torture. Through Project MK Ultra, though Project MK Ultra lasted from 1953 until about 1973, details of the illicit program didn't become public until 1975 during a congressional investigation into widespread illegal CIA activities within the United States and around the world. So yeah, mind control, like we have seen within it all. So that's why it's a weird point that we don't really want to see within all of this. And then basically Wood just goes, whoa, and there is a random digital clock speeding up. And this immediately reminded me of time is ticking. Like, time is speeding up. We don't have much time until this certain moment. That's what it reminded me of, in all. Then we start noticing, And then we start noticing other things within the room, like one of probably the biggest things, her computer. And we're sitting there wondering, what is the pin? And what are all of these projects, these files by her computer are discussing with a bunch of different numbers? Well, my theory is maybe they're ones in different timelines that ended up failing. Like, what if we've been through all of this and she's died multiple times in each timeline and just goes into a new timeline to come back and just restart? Like, I don't know. Project 863, what could the other ones stand for? I mean, maybe they're all dates that Wesley had died. I'll have to go back and listen to the numbers. But what do you guys think all these projects are for? Maybe there's projects on, like, the antidote and stuff, but it usually says test something, so I'm not too sure. And they were 3 numbered, like 863. So let me know what you guys think about that. So, and then we find a bunch of letters, and that basically concludes that GR is an official suspect. Same with Scott, because they both had the ability to go there and kill Deb. GR knew where she was, and Scott had a key and knew where she was. So who do you guys think did it? I'm not too sure, honestly, nowadays. I think it's either John Doe, as we found out what he said later in this video, or Scott. But let me know what you guys all think. But it seems like in GR's letters, he's really fierce and, like, mad at something like Deborah did to him specifically. What did Deb do? Like, what did she do that was so bad that GR wanted to basically get revenge on her for? And also, another saying that I'm pretty sure we have within Syntech, like, is, like, we have, time is ticking, or what's another one? I'll have to go look. Give me a second. Another one might be, I can only think of time is ticking right now. But, it seems like there's another one, which is long and expansive. That was used by 2 different people from Syntech today. Deb and pretty sure GR. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? And then GR also did mention, you'll be left wondering when and where. This heavily reminds me of when D3B said that she could only see what would happen, but couldn't see who and what did it. Like, who it was and what it was caused by. And then GR said you'll be left wondering when and where. So, honestly, that's putting me a little towards GR. I'm not too sure, but after today's video with John Doe, it's getting real confusing. So, and then we get to a different letter, which is from Wes, and I'm sorry, this is a very long episode. Not the actual episode, but, like, this is a very long podcast episode, which is nice. I guess, I'm not sorry. But you'll be left wondering when and where. That really reminds me of when D3B that said that, like, that really, I know I just went over this, but I mean, I can't get off the topic of, like, that reminding me of that, because, like, I don't know. I think D3B said that. Can I go look at that, too? Second Apple II. No. Okay. Well, just moving on from that, I guess. We get to the letters from West, like I just said. And West uses the term waste you away. Or like, don't let him waste you away, or something like that. And we have seen this exact term in the RV, I am pretty sure. I can go check that. I'm often wrong about theories. That is why I always go look in all of these. I'm looking through these letters. This kind of behavior. Ever since the accident. No. To. Okay, this is to her. I can't find it. I'm almost positive that this happened, and she said that. Yeah. So the letter was to Deb. I don't see from redacted. Sent Monday, April 10th of 1995. Wait. Oh, April was last month. Subject, I can't stop. I can't exactly see what that says. It says, this is all your fault. This, ... this is all your fault. Deb, I need it now. You made me like this, and now you can't even stand to look at me. If you can't get me the DAMN antidote, then I need the serum. I need it. Nelson would strap me to the table like the rest if he found out. Don't let me race away. And that was from Deb. That was to Deb. So it looks like Deb and... it looks like Wes and Ben both have used these. Well, that letter seems like it's from Ben. Not fully positive, but it looks like Wes and Ben have used these terms. So, Wes seems like he actually truly loved her. He truly cared about Deb and didn't want to see her get found out by Nelson, and just wanted it all to end between Syntek and him. I just think he wanted to get away. Syntek took a bad turn with Nelson and everything, and clearly it took a bad turn for him as he was murdered on August 8th of 2003, hence the name 863. So, then we get to all of the letters addressed to all of us. So, we'll start off with subject 4, the first one read. Basically, she says, don't overthink this. The answers you need are always the simplest ones. Talks about how she is proud of us, and she doesn't want us to get discouraged, because this is just how it works, and we need to always look closer. She doesn't want to allow anybody else. She thinks we need to watch out for somebody else that sees our strength and try to take advantage of them and use them against the team. She doesn't want Nelson trying to use us against the team again like he did in an SOS chat before. I'm pretty sure it was that was the takeover where Nelson took over Matt officially, and it was like his little coming out party. I was like, hey, I'm Matthias, and I've been here all along, and I know everything you've talked about in the last 7 months. And stuff like that. The next letter is to subject 3, which is also known as Woods. Basically, a brief summary of it was from Deb. She said that Woods needs to stay calm and listen. Don't stop. That may save one of your friends from going down the wrong path. She also compared all of them to one other person at Syntech, Woods. She compared him to Wes, always willing to do what's right. One of the most important things you contribute to 863 is looking out for others. Wait, did I say that correctly on here? I wrote a brief summary on a doc, so I didn't remember. Always, Wes was always willing to do what's right. One of the most important things Woods contributes to this whole entire project. And that he needs to be looking out for others not as deep, which made me think of Chanel and Tanner and like other Spellbound workers that aren't like actual subjects. Like, I'm not sure. Give me your brief summary of these letters. What do you think they all meant? Because I'm not too sure, honestly. Next letter is subject 2, which is to Sam, if you didn't know. Deb is very proud of her. Her positivity and hopefulness shines within her. From the bottom of her heart, she couldn't be more grateful. Really, Mike? Really? From the bottom of Deb's heart, she couldn't be more grateful for her. Without Sam, 863 would have faded a while ago. And actually, Sam was compared to herself writing this, Deb. She compared her to her before Syntech, and that she was passionate, bright-eyed, and cared for family and friends, and that she hopes that you're stronger than her, and you're going to be needed now more than ever in all of this. So, I'm not too sure what that meant, but Sam is a major key player at this moment. And then we get to subject 1, which is, of course, you all should probably know, Matthias. She knew Nelson would take him. She is extremely sorry. She stated that 2 times in all of this. And she compared him to Nelson, actually. She compared the one part of Nelson that she sees in him, which is being curious and inquisitive. And she sees that in him, that she sees the curiosity and being inquisitive in Matt, and she misses that in Nelson. And that Matt needs to keep his eyes out for anybody trying to get you to stray from your path. Again, she is sorry. So yeah, Deb is extremely sorry for what she did, and that she didn't tell Matt that she got taken over. Which she should be. That is 7 months, as she said in the letter, 7 months of her life, of his life, Matt's life, that he will never regain back, that he was under the influence of Nelson. So, then Matt's looking at his paper a little more. What does he find on the bottom of his paper? 1047. What does that go to? We assume the pin to the computer. It, of course, unlocks, and who does it unlock to? An email from John Doe. Open now, I'm pretty sure it was titled. And he said this: "There aren't many left, Deb. Soon, all that will remain is D3B." Is that all it said? Or am I just tripping? I gotta go look. Yeah, there aren't many left, Deb. Soon, that all that will remain is D3B, and it does look like it is the correct John Doe email to it. Wait a minute. What? Okay, so Deborah has pins on her computer. One pin is YouTube, and the other pin is channel dashboard. Huh? As far as I know, Deborah isn't a vlogger. Did she... Sorry for the static in the background, gosh dang. Did she have access to the team's channel's dashboard? Like posting videos and stuff? Why would she have just channel dashboard bookmarked in a tab? I literally just noticed that. But back to the whole episode. Did John Doe kill her? And he's definitely a new suspect of how he typed. But we gave John Doe quite literally everything. Basically, then the episode ends. So we basically gave John Doe everything, all the evidence. We were supposed to trust him. Like, I have no idea. Let me know what you guys think down below about who murdered her and everything. But then we get to the next time after everything, and it looks like Matthias got a notice, but it's not a regular notice, and there's smoke rising in other bases that aren't his. They said next door. I'm not too sure, guys, at all. I'm just completely blown away from this episode. But for right now, we do have 2 Reddit theories to review. I need to get this fixed. Actually, 1 second. Okay, I am back. I really need to get this fixed, honestly. Do you guys know how to fix Blue Yeti microphone static? Because I am not sure at all. But we have 2 Reddit theories today. The first one is about basically Deb's whole office, and on the Matthias submissions Reddit, user COLMUST4RD posted this. So they basically said, so everything we saw in her apartment seemed to have left an imprinted shadow on the walls, much like the flash of an atomic/nuclear weapon would. But that doesn't explain why the serum and the coffee were... I am so sorry. I don't know if I'll be able to keep going like this. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but they're static. Episode is almost over, I promise. You won't have to deal with it longer. Much like the flash of an atomic/nuclear weapon would, but that doesn't explain why the serum and the coffee were frozen. When Wood said it's warm in here so they aren't frozen, it made me think of dry freeze, which doesn't need to be kept cold to remain frozen. My theory is that Gary Reynolds, who is possibly John Doe, as this is that is a commonly used name for an unidentified male in government and medical fields. So they're thinking John Doe is Gary Reynolds, has a flash freeze weapon or tool that emits a bright light, hence the shadows, or maybe the absolate was in the apartment and got activated, hence why the serum could have been solidified. We don't exactly know what the absolate fully does yet, though. I don't know if anyone else noticed the bright green light coming under the desk, but that could very well be a clue down there. Yeah. I'd also check under the bed/mattress, as that's where many people hide things of value to them. There has to be something more that was missed in that apartment. The extra shadows can be picture frames that were taken so nobody could identify who lived there. It would also keep Deb and Wesley's faces hidden from us. True. I didn't think of that. And yeah, I think they're actually onto something about this, like a dry freeze. I'm not too sure. And definitely that glow under the desk, I'm thinking was something, or it was maybe just for an overkill aesthetic. Maybe Deb liked it too. But our next theory, moving on, is from on the Matthias submissions Reddit. It's from user salty-estimate-5563. So that's SALTY-estimate-5563. Their fire theory. They have a theory about the fire in the next time. So time is reliving and reckon the smoke from the buildings seen in the next time of the last episode. Is the fire from Syntech just a theory, but possible? That is really odd to think about. Oh my gosh, this static is going to be the death of me. Back to this theory. Oh my gosh. Okay. Back to this theory. That is Give me a second. Okay, sorry. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but I think I fixed. I don't know. I did something. I unplugged it and unplugged the other thing. So I'm hoping that fixed it. I don't hear it much anymore. So this theory, I'll go over it again since there was a bunch of static and stuff. Fire theory. So time is reliving and wrecking the smoke from the buildings. Seen in the next time of the last episode. Is the fire from Syntech just a theory, but possible? So yeah, what if time is actually repeating itself and there's going to be another fire at this location? Like there was a fire at Syntech. Like, we need to get everybody out because there were deaths at Syntech. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I really hope that doesn't come next episode, and I really hope there's no fire, but I am very curious about what the smoke arising is. But yeah, and what did you guys fully think of this episode? Do you guys like the new overlays? I do. But, I really thank you for watching this podcast and listening and tuning in. Remember, the Discord is in the description. Just join on in. Read the rules, get your roles, and basically just start chatting. There will be a video up about the Discord tomorrow, and I will see you tomorrow. Not going over the video, but going over the Discord, like I just said. And I will see you Wednesday going over the video that I think will be focusing on the smoke arising. So until then, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.